Now, join me on the line is a two-sport world champion, the former boxing junior middleweight champ of the world, and the current reigning defending bare-knuckle fighting championships welterweight champion of the world, Austin No Doubt Trout. Austin, how you doing today?
Mark, I'm doing grand, man. How you doing?
Doing good. So let's get right to it. A few weeks ago, well, actually about less than 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. You defeated Luis Palomino to become the bare knuckle champion at welterweight. Talk about that being a two sport, two division world champion.
Listen, man, and ever since I lost my belt to Canelo, 2013, anybody that would introduce me as a former champion, I will always correct them and say, and future, right? And future. And then 10 years, 10 plus years, I've been correcting people. And it got annoying after a while. They're like, yeah, right. 10 years ago, you're not going to be a champ again. I It happened, right? I believed it. Now I'm a two-time two-sport world champion, and I'm very proud of that accomplishment.
So let's take a little bit backtrack. So let's talk about I guess the switching of the sport, going over to bare knuckle. What was your thought process into, I want to say leaving boxing? Because I would imagine if there's an opportunity that comes up in boxing, you'll jump right back at that. But what was your thought process signing with the BKFC?
Again, I saw that they were just a very fast-growing sport. The production is top notch. And for being a young sport, I mean the efficiency was pretty good. And I was a fan of it before they even approached me. So when they're like, "Yo, would you do this?" And Nelson Lopez, shout out to Nelson, he's the one who reached out, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I do. Who? How much?" Both of those, the name and the money was good to me, and honestly, they're giving me opportunities. Boxing's not, and even if boxing wanted to give me an opportunity, how long would it take to get that done? It'd probably take a year or two. I don't have that kind of time to wait.
Obviously, the I guess the stuff with your hands, you already have that down from being a boxer. But there's other nuances to this game that were new to you. I know, like when you're in the clinches, you can probably do a little bit more rough housing in the clinches and stuff like that. How long did that take you to kind of get used to like the couple kind of differences and nuances that are not in traditional boxing?
Honestly, it took all camp, and I'm still learning. Like I'm still working on those things, and every fight you see, it gets better. And so, it took all camp. It's something I was working on all camp for, and you won't believe all the intricacies that are involved in standing grappling. Yeah, AG is in there. So like it's something that I still gotta learn. In fact, it's a different win too. Like all that wrestling, it gets you tired. I could punch all day, but a little bit of that holding and hitting and clinching and roughhousing that takes a lot of energy that you got to get used to.
What I guess is that maybe the toughest part that you've had to learn so far?
Again, in camp, it's a lot harder than the fights, so it doesn't seem like. But yeah, the clinching, the holding, the hitting, these things called underhooks and overhooks. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. Head control, head positioning, and Bob Perez here at Main Street Muay Thai and Boxing, he has little gems that I can just go work on, and they work out. It works out.
I guess I mean the first fight you signed on, you fought former UFC star Diego Sanchez. Did you go in this kind of looking for a long term kind of thing, or like I said, you were presented a big name? Like you said, the money I guess was right for you. Did you think it was just going to be maybe get some big names, some bigger events, and maybe jump right back into boxing? And maybe I don't know. Did you expect to be fighting for a world title in the second fight?
Um, so I did when I started it. I wasn't doing it just to do it. I wanted to be a world champion. And looking at the whole scale of the BKFC, I knew I could do it. Luis Palomino, who everyone said was the pound for pound. I right away was like, well, then that's who I want. Let me get through Diego, and I want Palomino. Luckily for me, Palomino called me out. I didn't have to chase him. But yeah, because I want to be king, and I think I could be king for this for quite a while.
Do you think you're a little bit of a marked man, being that you are probably one of the more high profile boxers that have kind of jumped over?
I hope so. I hope everybody wants to smoke, but from the way I just dispatched their pound for pound king, I don't know if they're gonna be lining up.
And in the, I guess, either distant or near future, are there any big name opportunities for you, or what are you looking at?
No, there's quite a few big name opportunities. I mean, Eddie Alvarez would be a great name fight. Um, hell, I know Palomino was going after Mike Perry, and granted he is 175 pounder, and really I'm really 155 pounder. So I'm down to get up there and go for that fight. But I want to do some cleaning up in my weight class first. You know what I mean? Tony Soto, I think, is the number one rated guy, 65. I take that fight. If Conor McGregor ever decides to come into the bare-knuckle game, I would definitely spark that lad. So there's a lot, and not just that, but bare knuckles going after a lot of big names in other sports to bring them over. So even if and they're not saying there is big names now to fight. There's going to be bigger names to fight here in the near future as well. So let me go ahead and get rid of these guys, and then whenever somebody comes in, they got to deal with me.
Do you feel? I know, like you just said, back to traditional boxing. You said maybe it would take a while for you to maybe kind of work yourself back to the top. Do you feel, with a couple high profile wins here, can your name maybe become hot again in the other sport?
I hope so. If the sport's still around, I'm hoping boxing, makes a comeback and because in my opinion, boxing needs me. Like they're acting like they don't need me, but boxing needs me. They need some good names that the people love. Instead of trying to introduce all these new people that they haven't done a good job at promoting yet. They want these new kids to come already developed. It's just reminding me of like the music business. There is no A&R. It's just come develop, have a following, sell CDs, and then we'll sign. It's like, well, what I need you to sign me for? Feel me? So I think boxing needs to go back to one promote a fighter, get somebody that you could put some money behind, get their name out there. Let us find this story, fall in love with the kid again. You know what I mean? Get a hometown hero. Go back to what used to work, um, and hopefully again, boxing needs me right now. It's not like boxing's doing great without me.
Um, you're fighting. You're fighting for my good friend David Feldman in the BKFC. Like you said, if one of those opportunities presents itself, and not to pry too much into your business, but you're under contract with BKFC. Is do you is it easy, or would you be allowed to jump back over?
BKFC, from my dealings with them, they're for the fighter. I have not seen not one exclusive contract that they've sent out. The only thing they don't want you to do is fight for another bare knuckle league, which is definitely understandable. They make it very easy to go back and forth. And I think they understand that if you do something in the other sport and it come back to bare knuckle, you bring that with you, and it just makes the bare knuckle look better. They're learning how to promote. Well, not even learning. They are promoting. They're promoting fighters. Look at the promotion. 2 fights with them, I've got like 5,000 followers. Dylan, you know what I mean? I haven't had that jump of followers since I fought Cotto. You know what I'm saying? And it took a Miguel Cotto, Madison Garner, fight to get my following up. Whereas the BKFC PR department, they go after it. They're still calling me like, hey, time for. I mean, they set this up. They're doing a great job of promoting.
When can we expect to see you back in? I guess like I said, I've known Dave a long time. He a fellow Philly guy. When do we expect to see Austin Trout toe the line again?
Hey, ASAP, my hands feel good. I don't have to heal up for real. I'm hearing rumors that this guy wants a rematch. I don't know if the Bare Knuckles is going to give it to him. He don't necessarily deserve it. But let's go to 155 and fight for that belt.
What's the welterweight in BKFC?
165.
Wait, Oh, you're 165.
Yeah,
So you're looking. You could move down 10 pounds if you need
I
to.
would love. That's where I fight at. My
Well,
last
you're
fight.
154, but you're 154 for a long
Yeah,
time. So,
and
you
I
know,
still make it. I still make it just fine.
would there be anyone in the squared circle that you'd be interested in fighting?
Shit, bring Charlo on. I need that rematch. Big Charlo or Little Charlo. Come see me at the Bare-Knuckle ring. Heard's too
Have you
big. But I'm
talked to? I
7 feet.
know obviously you're one of the more friendly and personal guys on the boxing scene. You've been talking to some of your buddies who are still boxers and kind of trying to pull them into the BKFC ring.
I'm trying, but for the most part, most boxers are like, nah, I'm good. Most
Let me
fighters,
ask you.
most boxers are like, nah, I'm good. I ain't that crazy. You crazy, man. I'm like, look, it's not that different. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna get caught with something, it don't matter how hard it is, you're gonna go down if it's the right spot.
How is it punching with like were they 5 ounce gloves or actually it's the tape? It's just tape.
Yeah, it's just tape. It's no
I'm
gloves.
thinking of
It's
MMA.
no gloves.
Uh,
Yeah, and
How
it's
is it
dope.
just punching with the tape?
I love it. I like it, man, because you feel every piece of that shot, even the little ones that nick. You know what I mean? You're like, ah, that still hurt. I know it hurt. No, I
So,
love it.
a guy like you, when you were fighting, you were known more as a boxer, puncher kind of thing. This kind of evens the playing field out. It makes everyone a puncher in
It
this game.
does. It really does. And the thing that all boxers need to understand is that if you can't fight, then you're gonna be fighting the whole fight. The only way that you can get to your boxing is if you know how to fight and stop them that clinch, stop that inside fighting. If you get the best of them on the inside, they're gonna stay outside, and that's your game. You know what I'm saying? That inside's their game, and so learning how to fight is gonna be key. You gotta be able to bang it out, make it uncomfortable for them inside.
Besides Austin Trout, because you're already a world champion, name me another guy or two who's or fighter who are boxers that would probably excel in the BKFC.
Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford would be a monster in the BKFC. I mean, he's a monster in boxing. But I'm just telling you, like Terrence Crawford would probably go up and whoop heavyweights if he wanted to. He would be a monster in that. Um, there's some guys that aren't necessarily the best in boxing, but that would be a lot of the best in the bare knuckle that were best in boxing.
That's
For
why. That's
instance,
why I asked that question because I figured there'd be a name or two out there whose game may resonate more to, like you said, the
yeah,
inside grappling and all that stuff that would help them. Whereas in traditional boxing, it
yeah,
doesn't come out as much.
Nagy Aguilera, he's a heavyweight. That man would be a monster. And he likes he's a better street fighter than he is anything. So this would be right up his alley. Another one, Cuban Mike Perez. He would be a monster in this bare knuckle, and I'm trying to get them in there too.
Well, if they're out there hearing this, you already got the endorsement from the champ, Austin Trout. Austin, what do you want to say to the fans in closing before we let you go?
I appreciate y'all rocking with me and everybody that's been rocking with me since my fateful day 2013. We did it. We are champions again. And we're gonna be champions for quite a while. So I'm gonna give y'all all something to brag about at work the next weekend.
Well, we look forward to seeing you toe the line, hopefully the next couple of months, defending your world title. Austin, thank you for a few minutes of your time, and we'll talk to you along the way.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Thanks, Austin.